What is going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel today. We have a ton of news to go over today about Avengers Doomsday and also the future of the MCU. We have a great report actually coming from somebody who has worked on Avengers Doomsday that I think is going to get fans a lot more excited for this movie. We have some drama to go over when it comes to She-Hulk. It looks like not only the actress's future, but the character's future in the MCU is quite uncertain right now. And then we have some awesome news about Deadpool and Wolverine. So let's get into it. But if you're new and you love Marvel, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We talk about Marvel every single day. So we're going to start off with She-Hulk, because this seems to be kind of a big conversation right now. It's actually been quite a big conversation for a while since the whole Jimmy Kimmel incident happened. A lot of actors spoke out about that. Tatiana Maslany was one of them. And she basically told everybody to boycott Disney and unsubscribe from Disney Plus, which if you're Disney and Disney owns Marvel, you could see how you don't really want that from one of your actresses. So there was already quite a bit of a debate of what was going to happen with her and her character already, but now we have a new report from insider My Time to Shine Hello. It seems like the situation kind of has a twist. Might not have been what we thought it was going to be. She states, Marvel Studios wanted to use She-Hulk in a big way for Avengers Secret Wars. The problem is that Tatiana Maslany has no interest in working for Disney. If they're unable to convince her to return, the options are to remove the character altogether or recast the role. So right away, I'd like to know what you think about this. Would you like She-Hulk to remain in the MCU even if they have to recast her, or would you like the character to go away altogether? Let me know in the comments. Now, this does seem to be kind of what she was letting out when she posted to social media. She obviously didn't like what Disney was doing, and then she said unsubscribe to Disney Plus. I mean, it does kind of seem like she is upset with Disney and might not care about the repercussions. She might not have thought that she had a future with Marvel. We don't know if she's in Avengers Doomsday. We've heard reports that she is, but we've also seen leaked concept art of her being in Avengers Secret Wars. So the fact that My Time to Shine Hello was reporting that Marvel had big plans for her in Secret Wars, that seemingly checks out because we saw that picture of her, Hulk, and Scar. And in the background, it looked like there were many different Hulks. So it looked like we were kind of going to see a Greenland situation where we had a part of Battleworld that consisted of like a bunch of different Hulks, and not even just people, but perhaps animals and creatures as well. So clearly something pretty big was planned there. But considering she told people to unsubscribe from Disney Plus and boycott Disney, it does seem like she doesn't want to return to Disney. My cat just jumped up there. It seems like she doesn't want to return to Disney, and Disney's probably pretty frustrated with her as well. I've seen some people talk about her contract. I don't think when she did She-Hulk, she signed a contract to be in Avengers Secret Wars and or Avengers Doomsday. They're probably trying to do a new contract with her. So yeah, this is probably negotiations right now, and it looks like they might remove the character altogether. So she might not have that big of a role in Secret Wars, or I'm sorry, in Avengers Doomsday, but in Avengers Secret Wars, sounds like she was going to have a decent sized role. I think we're going to get even more people in Avengers Secret Wars than Doomsday. So the main characters that are going to be focused on, I can't imagine She-Hulk was going to be one of them. Regular Hulk, yes, and she might be by his side, sure. But as far as main roles, I don't think this should affect the movie too much. They can recast. I don't think that's really that big of an issue, or they can remove it altogether. But again, let me know what you think. Now, I thought this was really cool news. In a recent interview speaking to Young Indie Chroniclers, Gavin Boquette, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, who is the production designer for Marvel's Avengers Doomsday, says that the film used mostly real sets rather than blue screens, which I am totally here for. I am all for this. I think it typically ends up looking a lot better. And if you think about kind of some of the past films that were pretty recent with Marvel Studios, we've had some CGI bugs, mess ups, whatever you want to call it, just hasn't looked the best. And it's really, really weird because we're in 2025, almost 2026. You would think they'd have a lock on CGI already. Like they've locked it down how to do it, but we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But this is what Gavin Boquette said. The default situation before us was, let's put a blue screen out there. while we had physical backings for 80% of the interior sets. So it was all in camera. And then it was all in camera, and in the end, that's as much a visual choice as a money choice. If they don't have to change the exterior. So wherever we could, we brought that bit of experience in to adjust those things rather than presuming you can always add it in with visual effects. So basically what he is saying is if they could do it practically, they did it practically. And yes, it was a money choice as well, because if you can do it practically, then you don't have to pay more for CGI and special effects, which totally makes sense. And this is a huge movie. I'm sure they're trying to save money where they can, but also I do think, like I mentioned, practical effects typically work better when it comes to movies like Marvel movies. So I'm excited for that. I think the movie visually is going to look amazing. Daniel RPK actually reported that he has heard this is going to be the best looking Marvel movie. It's going to be better looking than Infinity War and Endgame, which is a pretty big thing. Now, when it comes to news about Deadpool and Wolverine, it's big news, but I'm not sure if it's going to shock everybody. We'll get to that in just a bit, but first, the holidays are coming up, and if you are looking for a truly incredible, truly unique, and memorable gift for your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, whoever it may be, I have to recommend Uncommon Goods, our sponsors for today's video. Uncommon Goods is an incredibly unique marketplace with a wide range of gift ideas that you would have never thought of or have found browsing other sites. For example, one of my friends has a lot of pets, so I got her some personalized pet portrait wood slice ornaments for her Christmas tree with her pets' faces on them. Another friend of mine loves to hang out outside in his backyard, so I got him a portable beer and snack table. My other friend loves Christmas and handmade items, so I got her a handmade Christmas glass Santa. Seriously, if you want to get someone a truly unique gift, Uncommon Goods is the best place to shop. From kitchen and bar to home and garden to jewelry and clothing, they have something truly great for everyone. So make your holiday season unforgettable with Uncommon Goods by clicking on the link in my description to get 15% off your next gift. Now, Forbes, who obviously is a very trusted outlet and magazine as well, Forbes is now reporting that Deadpool and Wolverine are expected to star in the MCU's next two kid-friendly Avengers movies. So Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Now, the announcement or the confirmation, whatever you want to call this, that they're going to appear in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars doesn't come as that big of a surprise. But what's interesting is they do this whole article, and the article is titled Deadpool and Wolverine cost $500 million, but did it make a profit? It made a profit. It talks about how much they split with the theaters and everything like that. But basically, and here's the important part, and here's the part that makes the most sense when it comes to Disney and Marvel and Deadpool and Wolverine and Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. This was the only movie Marvel has had recently to hit over $1 billion. And I think more importantly, it actually set up more of what we're going to see in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars than really any other movie. Like in The Void, we had a lot of multiversal aspects. We had characters from a bunch of different universes. And I think The Void is going to be a big part of Doomsday and Secret Wars as well. So this, and Kevin Feige, he said, on a scale of how important this movie is going to be, I think he said it was like an 8 or a 9. I don't remember exactly. It was one of those two. And then people were like, oh, how exactly was it that important? It didn't really seem to connect to the overall story. No, it absolutely did, because of the multiversal aspects to it and because of The Void. So the movie was huge for setting up Avengers Doomsday, and a lot of the characters are already confirmed to be returning. So Gambit's confirmed to be returning. So we obviously know that Deadpool and Wolverine are going to be returning because they're going to do this till they're 90. Both of them. I would fully expect that. But the fact that these two are seemingly the most popular right now, with the exception of Spider-Man, it obviously makes sense to bring back your kind of heaviest hitters. Again, with the exception of Spider-Man, because their movie was, well, at least it performed amazingly. Most people thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing. One of my all-time favorite MCU movies at this point in time, even if the story lacks a little bit. I just thought it was funny, action-packed, and did have heartfelt moments. So to have these two return in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars just makes sense. Now Forbes is saying they're expected to show up. I think it's kind of funny coming from Forbes, but expect things like this to happen. Expect these big characters to return. And speaking of, Daniel RPK also recently hinted that Thanos is going to be returning. He said that Josh Brolin can be expected to return in Avengers Doomsday. He actually specifically said when Inside Fandom posted Josh Brolin in 2025 films, and they posted a list of the films he was in, Daniel RPK said, and soon in Avengers. We're assuming Avengers Doomsday and, of course, Avengers Secret Wars as well, if he survives. They could be using him to show how strong Doom is, and Doom could kill him pretty quickly, or maybe not quickly, maybe at the end. But there's a chance he could die to Doom in Avengers Doomsday, so he might not make it to Secret Wars, but it sounds like he's going to be in Doomsday. We've heard rumors that he's actually going to be King Thanos, which I think would be really cool. He could be working for Doom. The Cabal is in Secret Wars in the comics. They're not working for Doom in the comics, and that actually does lead to that infamous panel of Doom ripping out Thanos' skeleton, which I really do hope we get, but we'll see. So, like I said, a lot of big news today. Let me know what you think about all of it, and let me know how excited you are for Avengers Doomsday. Let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.